You know, I've been waiting to talk about this for a while now. I did a poll on my channel a while back and asked y'all who y'all favorite Upper Moon was. And while doing that, I did some research and I've gathered all my thoughts together to say this. All Upper Moons suck and Muzan should be ashamed of himself. Especially for this one. You Upper 5. God, I hate Upper 5. But why? Why are Upper Moons so bad and why do they keep getting cooked? Well, let's go down the list and analyze why these idiots keep getting washed and what approach should have been taken. Starting with Upper 6, Daki and Gyutaro. I actually liked Daki at first, but they made her somewhat weak. And Gyutaro, I just knew this man was a menace from his first sight. Not only because he's, well, ugly, but because the very first exchange and attacks, he poisons Tengen pretty much effortlessly. Plus, he and Daki's brother-sister relationship kind of just shows us a mirror of our main two heroes in a completely different light. While I do think these two are pretty cool, I cannot ignore the fact that they fumbled this fight entirely. I personally blame Gyutaro. Muzan claimed Gyutaro would have won this fight if Daki didn't hold him back, but time out. Muzan, did you even watch this fight? If he did, he would have known that these fools lost this fight because of their own ignorance. They started off pretty well. It was simple. While Daki could just try and hold off Inosuke and Zenitsu, Gyutaro just had to beat the shit out of Tanjiro and Tengen. Mind you, this is a somewhat exhausted Tanjiro from already fighting Daki, and Tengen has pretty much already been poisoned from that first attack. So all Gyutaro had to really do was endure, which he pretty much did up until his one fatal mistake. This idiot did not confirm his kill. He cuts Tengen's arm off, and after that, he just left him alone and went to help Daki. After he stabs Inosuke, they pretty much had this fight in the bag, but sadly, they wanted to play around with our main heroes, and this begins mistake number 2. They wasted time teasing Tanjiro, and instead of finishing the job, Tengen pretty much slowed down his heart rate and rested a bit to decrease the effectiveness of the poison. Like, what kind of murderous demon doesn't confirm his kill? Anyways, while these idiots tease our main character, one by one, our heroes revive themselves, thus giving our heroes a final attempt, leading to Daki and Gyutaro inevitably getting cooked in the end. It's their fault. Next, we have Upper 5. This is probably the worst one of all. I hate Upper 5. From the beginning, I already knew this character would be trash. His whole pot thing and being somewhat of an insane artist was okay, but even when we first met this clown, he just seemed like somewhat of a joke. At the Upper Moon meeting, he's the first one to greet Akaza, and well, he just looks like shit. Not only that, it's clear no one respects this dude at all, except for the fake respect he gets from Doma. Muzan gives all the Upper Moons a scolding, and even goes out of his way to disrespect Gyoko? I'm not sure how to say his name. Anyway, Gyoko, or Upper 5, tells him that he has some information for him that would please oh great Lord Muzan. So what does Muzan do? He rips Upper 5's head off, forces him to tell him the information he knows, and after that, Muzan says, "Stop smiling, you fucking ugly bitch," and that his information is unconfirmed, so he just drops his head back down to where the other Upper Moons are, and then he leaves. After that awful meeting, he goes to the Swordsmith village to cause chaos. He keeps spawning these dumbass fish creatures to terrorize these horny old swordsmith dudes, and soon after, he encounters Morichiro. Honestly, this has to be the worst fumble of all time. Morichiro already comes into the fight unprepared. He doesn't have a proper sword, and he has these two idiots with him that he has to protect. So quickly into the fight, he already jumps in front of these like fish needles to cover these two idiots. Morichiro takes early damage in this fight and is soon trapped inside of a water prison. So boom, success, right? Upper 5, you won this fight, right? Well, not exactly. Upper 5 decides to be a complete potato head and walks away from an alive Hashira, and not only does he do that, he doesn't even attack the first targets he went after in the first place. This fucking idiot literally walks away, and our favorite Miss Hashira gets a second chance at life from this goofy ass looking kid, and all because this potato head didn't stay to confirm his kill. So soon after, Morichiro breaks free from this water prison, and unlocks his Demon Slayer mark and just cooks this man entirely. To make things even worse, Upper 5 powers, not only do they suck, he gets roasted mid-fight, and he also didn't even get a sad backstory to show why we should feel sorry for him. He just got cooked and no one even cared. Upper 5 will go down in history as one of the worst Upper Moon demons who ran out here and got soloed by a Hashira. I kinda blame Muzan for this. It's his fault for letting this clown of a character run free and call himself an Upper Moon demon. Next, we have Upper 4. I personally feel like he played this fight a lot better than Upper 5. Unfortunately, he sucks too. Not only because he's ugly, but because he's also kinda stupid. I thought this character was actually pretty interesting at first. Apparently, his different forms represent different emotions, and these forms also act accordingly to those emotions. While I did think these forms were pretty cool, I do also feel like it was just a huge waste of time. I'm not sure if he has to keep getting cut in half to duplicate, or if he could just do this at will by splitting himself. Either way, the rush to his final form should have been the end result, right? I get it, it wouldn't be a cool fight if he just rushed to his most powerful form. Either way, I just feel like he blew it. This form could have done a lot more, I think. When I seen this form, I was literally at the edge of my seat. Like, wow, look at this character. He gave us the careful who you make fun of in middle school type glow up, right? Because damn, this form was extremely cool. Like, seeing this form, I literally immediately start looking for fan art for this character. That is until this fucking potato head opens his dumbass mouth and says the worst thing you could possibly say in a situation like this. Awful villain, how dare you torment the weak? He calls our heroes awful villains and says that they're despicable for trying to decapitate his little ugly main form. Immediately, Tanjiro tells this idiot, like, bruh, you're literally an immortal high-ranked demon who came here to fight us. Apparently his logic is, if you don't know the people I've killed or know the people I'm attacking, you shouldn't even be worried about it. After just hearing this man talk, I immediately wanted him to get cooked, like so bad, and so he did. Mitsuri came into the fight and handles this form pretty much with ease, kinda. He sends his like annoying form to run away while he stays and fights the Slayers. Unfortunately, the Slayers split up and chase this main ugly form down and eventually kills it, thus putting an end to this form as well. Problem is, he didn't have to do this. I guess he had a hard time dealing with Mitsuri, but I would not have let my heart split away from me at a time like this, especially when you know Slayers are gonna chase it down. Basically, it's too late to hide your heart in this fight. You have to defend it with this most powerful form, and that's just it. There's no more hiding. To be honest, I can't say for sure how good this form even is, because the only thing it does is hit these drums and these dragons react. We seen him do that one scream that other form had, but that was it. What about all the other moves? I guess he just didn't find a use for them. Anyways, like I said, his form got cooked and didn't get any kills in the process, so Upper Moon 4 sucks, and we can now move on from this terrible demon. Lastly, I'm just gonna say something quick about our top 3 Upper Moons, mainly to avoid spoilers. So Upper 3, Akaza. I already made a video about Akaza, so you could probably just go watch that. I cooked him a little bit in this video, but he's still most people's favorite Upper Moon, including mine, and he's actually the only Upper Moon I personally think doesn't suck. Moving on to Upper Moon 2, Doma. Everyone hates Doma, including the other Upper Moons and Muzan as well. It's mainly because Doma is just an extremely fake ass bitch. I personally have my own reasons for hating Doma, but yeah, most people hate him because of his fake attitude. Like, he's just not a real person. And finally, we can move on to Upper 1. To be honest, I really want to avoid spoilers, but I looked into this dude's backstory, and at first, I thought he seemed pretty cool, but after seeing that backstory, this has to be one of the lamest Upper Moon demons there is. Probably the worst, maybe even worse than Upper 5. Actually, no, there's nothing worse than this idiot, so I'll let you pass with that one, Upper 1. So yeah, Upper Moon sucked, and I think the real one to blame is Muzan himself. As the leader of these idiots, you should set the tone for how Upper Moons need to be. To be honest, I would have probably killed off all the Upper Moons outside of the top 3, or at least forced these losers to have some type of Hashira training arc. Because if this idiot came to me with these bullshit fish powers, I would have thoroughly beat the shit out of him and gave him a small amount of time to rethink his abilities and somehow come with something better. I'm not sure if you can pick abilities as an Upper Moon. I don't know how that works, but he would have to do something better than this. I guess in the end, it doesn't matter anyways. Muzan doesn't even care about the Upper Moons anymore. All he cares about is Nezuko. And so do I. So leave a like on the video and tell me who your favorite Upper Moon was. And it better not be Gyoko or whatever the fuck this dude's name is, because he sucks. And you know it. See you later.